You know, Rockstar, you need to make a new Grand Theft Auto game. Now, I know there's been leaks of Grand Theft Auto 6, but you really can't trust all them sources, let's be honest about it. But anyway, this game, right here, the Trilogy, garbage. First of all, it's been done since the PS2 era. This is literally available on the PS2. All three of them games. So, they fixed it now, from what I can tell. I mean, you can see out by the tag, I bought it used because I ain't dumb enough to drop $60 on it. And it's just, I mean, outside of maybe a little graphical updates, current gen graphics, I mean, the game's pretty much the same. And it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's just really original. That's Rockstar's way of trying to, because if you ever noticed, they sneak drop that. Sneak drop means there's no trailer for it, there's no announcement for it, whatever. They just sneak dropped it. All that was a money grabber. That's all it was. Rockstar is a good company. I'm not going to say they're not because, well, let's be honest about it, they're a million times better than EA. But I think they're getting lazy. Again, it goes back to what I've ranted out about before. About companies getting lazy. Now, this game, which is, by the way, is a special edition, I guess you'd call it. The Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This is the special edition with the Sunday Drive. Now, to me, that is the best Grand Theft Auto game ever made. I mean, for those of you who are not old enough to remember that game, or maybe you were late to it, or I was around when it first came out. But that was hands down the best Grand Theft Auto game, in my opinion. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5, listen, I'm sorry, but Grand Theft Auto 5 to me is old news. I don't care about it no more. I mean, it was cool for what it was when it came out in 2013 that you could switch between three characters for the first time and yada, yada, yada. That was kind of their way of trying to remake San Andreas, whatever. But, I mean, it was cool. It was good, for the time. But the fact that we haven't gotten a new Grand Theft Auto game in 10 years, going on 11 years, I mean, that's just a crime. I mean, it's just, for those of you who are not old enough to remember or whatever, but I remember, we would get it like a new Grand Theft Auto game maximum every 2 years. It seemed like, I mean, because Grand Theft Auto 3 was really the first, was the first one to be a three-dimensional world, and Vice City was cool, because, this was back in 2001, 2002. We never seen anything like this before. So they were good for the time. But let's be honest about it. I think 90% of the people who get that new Trilogy game, it's to play San Andreas. It's not to play 3 in Vice City. I mean, like I said, them two were cool for at the time. But, I mean, come on, what was really memorable about Grand Theft Auto 3? Outside it being the first really big 3D open world game. Outside of that, I mean, it was very forgettable. I mean, the main character, Claude, or whatever the hell his name was totally mute. He wasn't a memorable character. He just got, it was just lucky because it came out at the time it did. But Grand Theft Auto 3 was a very forgettable game. Very forgettable, in my opinion. Vice City, things got better. Tommy Vercetti, again, a good character, but not really. I mean, give me CJ any day. CJ in San Andreas was way more memorable than him. But that's what I'm saying. So, and then you had, the Liberty City stories, the Vice City stories. They had them two garbage games, yeah. But, it's time for a new Grand Theft Auto. Moral of the story is what I'm getting at here. And the problem I see with this new Grand Theft Auto coming out, if it is indeed the leaks are true, it's back in Vice City again. Now, see, the problem, Rockstar, here's the problem. This is when you're getting lazy because as much as I hate to admit this, Ubisoft has you beat on this. The one thing I can say about Far Cry, even though it seems like lately the gameplay is repetitive and nothing too interesting, but at least in Far Cry, it's a way different experience every game. Come on. I mean, you go from a game like Far Cry 3 that's in a tropical paradise to Far Cry 4 that's in the Himalayan mountains. Then, of course, Far Cry 5, you're basically in cowboy country, in Montana. And, of course, now Far Cry 6, and Far Cry Primal, that was, in the ancient days. But you know what I mean? It was different variety. I mean, it seems like every time that Rockstar releases a Grand Theft Auto, it's Liberty City, Vice City, San Andreas. Liberty City, Vice City, San Andreas. Liberty City, Vice City, San Andreas. I mean, come on. Rockstar, there's more than 3 cities in the world. Hate to break it to you. So, this is constructive criticism. You guys need to scrap if you are planning on GTA 6 being in Vice City, there's no sense of buying it, because if I wanted to play Vice City, I would just play Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I don't need to spend $60, $70 on Grand Theft Auto 6 that's just remade in Vice City. Oh, but it's got a new story. I don't care. It's original. So, Grand Theft Auto 6 needs to be something totally different. It needs to be something we've never seen before. Like I said, that is the one thing you can say about Ubisoft, is that they make their games in different environments, at least. Yeah. That's my thoughts on that. Because, 10 years, man. Come on. We've waited 10 years. And, everybody is like, oh, Grand Theft Auto 5 to me is boring. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5, consistently for probably over a year, because it's so damn boring now. It's like, you can only beat a game so many times before you finally say, okay, well, enough's enough, let's get the next one. But, yeah. Grand Theft Auto is a good series. Some people may say it's overrated, but, I personally like Grand Theft Auto. It was one of the, really good open world games where you can literally free roam and do whatever you want. And I know people are making a big deal about, oh, the game's violent and, all that horse shit. It's like, you know what? First of all, there are way more violent games now than Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto just happened to come out at a time where nobody had seen that before. So, now if you play Grand Theft Auto 3, it's like a kid's game. I remember when that first came out and it was on 2020 and everything. They were trying to ban the game. But now it's like Grand Theft Auto 3. Who cares? Even San Andreas. That's mild compared to the violence out today. So, Rockstar needs to scrap. If you're going to make it in Vice City, I think you need to scrap it. I'm not saying maybe one day I won't try it if it does come out like that. But it's like, I'm just getting tired of the same 3 settings over and over. Like I said, Liberty City, Vice City, San Andreas. It's the same thing. And I know there was one brand, like Fluke brand, like for the PSP, that was like Chinatown Wars or something like that. But that, I don't even count that. But, yes. Anyway, off subject. Doing good. Otherwise, heart's doing good. You see me moving a lot in my videos now because, this is what I like to do now is move around. Because that adds up. The little stuff adds up, exercise-wise. So, I'm probably always going to be heavy. Or somewhat heavy, but it is what it is. But anyway, that's a different video. Rockstar, you need to make a new Grand Theft Auto. And I know in between these 10 years, you had RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2. I know there was that, but it's just inexcusable. We need a new Grand Theft Auto. GTA 6, whatever it's going to be called, needs to happen.